This is Patrick at Qdabra, and I'm very happy today to have Mark McLean of Modern Remodeling on the call to tell us a little bit about his solution and how he was able to build a business process from scratch using Office 365 and Qdabra's apps along with our consulting service. Welcome, Mark.
Hello, Patrick. How are you today?
I'm great. How are you?
Very well.
Okay, let's see. So, if you want to switch to the next slide, we're going to ask a couple quick questions to introduce you to the listeners out there. First of all, you're CFO and CIO at Modern. You've got several hats, right?
Yeah.
In addition to your surfing hat.
Yeah, that's my casual beach pick, where I'd like to be most of the time.
How long have you been on 365?
Since I started back in July of 15.
And you've been a Qdabra customer for a couple of years, right?
Yes, I think the following year is when we signed up.
So why did you decide to go with FormsViewer and DBExcel?
Well, you know, we were building a nice little SharePoint application, and we were using SharePoint list, Excel spreadsheets. So we had various islands of information, and at some point we said this is just getting too cumbersome for 15 project managers to go back and forth into SharePoint and pull up a spreadsheet or pull up a SharePoint list. And I did some research over the weekend looking at various tools, and I think I even called you that first weekend saying, hey, can you load my form up with Q rules? And you were nice enough to do that weekend. And then after that, I said, wait a minute, this solution is going to be our cure for all of our ills that we, are doing in-house basically. So I sort of knew very soon that FormsViewer and DBExcel, because we're writing everything out to SQL, was going to be our business solution, moving forward.
That's great. So you came at it from InfoPath with Q rules, and then moved into FormsViewer, which bakes Q rules functionality all in.
Oh,
yeah.
That new design piece is wonderful.
Wonderful. Now, how's the adoption going? You've got this. You've got several. You got a small business, obviously. You've got about 10 or 20 million in revenue annually, and you're a lot of users. You want to switch to that next slide, and we'll do a quick stat check here. And so you've got 18 users across 20 plus forms. I actually thought I saw more than 20 today when we were looking at that.
Yeah, if we include all the sub forms, the smaller forms, you're absolutely right. But I kind of look at the big forms, and I lose track of all those small ancillary forms. Well, but yeah, we've got 18 users.
That's wonderful.
Hitting FormsViewer every day, pretty much 8 hours a day.
Oh wow! Can you show us? And you haven't had any downtime, right? I mean, it's been. There's been smooth sailing, right?
It's been pretty smooth. I mean, to be honest with you, I think the downtime was Microsoft at one point. It wasn't FormsViewer.
That's great to hear.
They took our SharePoint tenant down inadvertently.
That's so good. But I'm glad to hear that. So let's do a quick demo. Do you want to show us the most
sure.
the solution or the app that you're proudest of?
Well, as we both know, the opportunity dashboard was a pretty comprehensive piece. We took about 4 or 5 different SharePoint lists and pretty much rolled them up into one dashboard that our project managers can manage all their open opportunities on a day-by-day basis. And I do a lot of test work here, so we'll just bring up one of my test forms.
That's a great, colorful UI you've made here. I really love how it lays out on the screen there. That's nice.
It's a nice. I've taken a UI stance where I'm trying to get softer colors, which is an easy formatting in FormsViewer. But once you bring up an opportunity or a job on our main platform, you basically see all sorts of information between the contract details, any supplements. When management has reviewed it, I even added a new draw schedule for our complex jobs so we can track the draws within the system instead of in an old spreadsheet. We keep track of all the claim information on the insurance company and the mortgage company, because we do a lot of insurance work.
And you've
So
been
we
able
need
to
to.
customize this yourself with, I mean, obviously it's a pretty complex form and application you've got, but you're able to actually go in and change this on the fly.
Yes, I basically actually earlier this morning I was in the form, as you can see, and what I like about it is the smaller pieces that I can do. You know, if they're very involved rules, obviously I go to my sidekick Jimmy and push it out to him because I can get so far. But as you said, I've pretty much, you know, laid out our new budget and commission tool. We're keeping track of our commissions within the system now and the overall budget, which this doesn't have because it's just a test case. One of our other forms pushes all of our production scheduling data in here as well. So that's a nice feature for our project managers. At any time, they can see what's scheduled, what's been done, et cetera, on a specific job without going into the production schedule.
It looks like it's pretty responsive too. So I mean, obviously we're always trying to improve performance, but your tabs and your views are switching back and forth pretty quickly.
Oh, absolutely. You know, you're in a two-second response time now versus the old info path where, what was it called? The working on code.
Yeah, we do everything.
No, we love the performance here, and even on the mobile piece we've rolled out, we don't put everything on the mobile, but the forms we need is pretty responsive even in a 4G environment.
We're trying to improve performance even further, but I'm glad to hear that. So let's switch and if you want to show one more quick form that is different than this.
So within our main dashboard, we have all of our forms that are related to our insurance business, and I'll just bring up the roofing. If you order a roof, say your roof was damaged in a hailstorm, we've got all the information here to fill out and forward on to our materials supplier as well as our subcontractor or production team. So this all gets completed, we submit it, and it gets emailed to the PM, which we're going to roll out that new PDF piece where it automatically opens in the browser. That's my next project.
And you actually created these attributes. There's work to be done. Those are all your custom attributes, right?
Correct. These are all, you know, we laid out a table of everything, and then we laid them out in the sequence we wanted to show these, as well as the order information down here.
Oh, that's great. So it's very customizable.
We could increase this at any point in time by just putting a new value and assigning it to sequence, and then the next time the forms opens, it'll automatically drop where we wanted it. That was a neat feature that we laid out.
So you're really taking advantage of that customizability of the custom solution, you know, the ability to
absolutely
turn on a dime, right? Make your business more competitive.
Well, I can pretty much tell you, I looked at the marketplace for restoration type of packages. There's a lot out there. There's a lot of nice software, but at the end of the day, it doesn't do what we need it to do to run our business. So we took the customization route, and I don't think we've looked back once.
Well, if you don't mind, let's switch back to the slides and wrap this up. I want to ask you a few more questions on the, I guess the customer value proposition. So what was the value to you? And I think that got all these, obviously all these forms out there, all these applications. If you go to the next slide, let me just finish up here. And obviously you're using the solution. So if you know, you've mentioned this already, but it has improved your business. What about the main value? I mean, to you, I mean, the customization. I mean, was that the main value? Or
well, it's customization. We have real-time information instead of going to pull up a spreadsheet or a SharePoint. Granted, SharePoint was real-time, but a spreadsheet that had to be constantly updated. And if something didn't get updated, you had to go back and recreate the wheel, so to speak. So the fact that we have real-time data on our opportunities and our jobs, and the fact that I can customize this on the fly, because right before we got on this call, our marketing director came in and says, I need another field. I think it took me 15 minutes to put the DBXL piece in, as well as the field in the form.
You mapped it to SQL and changed the form all in 15 minutes.
Yeah, I added the SQL record, mapped it to DBXL, and changed the form and tested it in all of 15 minutes.
Well, that's awesome.
So.
Um, so I want to wrap up and just basically go to the next few slides here. And if you want to switch to the next one, obviously what we're trying to do is build an app that's very customizable and very flexible to meet the business needs of everyone in Office 365. You have a small business or a medium-sized business, you need to automate your business process. FormsViewer and DeepExcel are two applications that will allow you to not only build those forms and make them look really good on mobile, make them performant, but also get the data in SQL so it can be scalable to fire up an Azure sort of data repository so that you can actually do some advanced reporting on large data sets. Mark, switch to the next slide and then we'll finish this up here. And yeah, so basically we're trying to provide this on-ramp for businesses out there, and Mark, you've been a great sort of showcase of that, I think, today with Modern Modeling's solution over the last 2 years. What we're trying to do is to we're consultants, so we're trying to provide solutions to you and to everyone on Office 365 that will allow you to customize your business as you see fit. So it gives you the power to build process automation without having to use something out of the box. But it is out of the box in the sense that there's no code in the solution, and that allows you to do this prototyping very quickly and design your forms and your applications and scale the data. Well, I want to thank you again, Mark, for doing this quick testimonial with us. And
my pleasure.
Yeah, that was wonderful having you as a customer. Thank you so much.
All right, talk to you soon.